We are here on location. Captain Shreve High School, home of the Gators. Captain ShreveGators football. Here with us now, head football coach, Brian Sepulvado. I get tongue twisted when it's too many syllables, coach.
Hey, you hit it perfect, though. I've been called a lot worse.
Hey, I get real life tongue twisted saying that, trying to keep that many syllables in line. So, how you doing this morning, coach?
Oh, making it, man, making it. It's football season. You can't ask for anything better. We waited all year to get here, so hey, it's here.
Hey, thank you guys for asking me and inviting me to come into your home, man. It's always special for me when I get to meet new coaches and build relationships. It's kind of like when you first get married. You want everything to be so nice and smooth and just hope that the wife don't ask you to mow the grass the day after you get married, you know. So
mine asked me the day of, so I'm totally used to it. It doesn't bother me.
So we're gonna start the show off per the norm. We ask that you give us a little bit about your bio. We're nosy, so we want to know it all or as much as you want to give us, Coach.
Okay, this is my 18th year coaching. Like I said, I played college football, played linebacker at Jackson at Belhaven College. After that, I went to work at Byrd High School. I coached there for 8 years. This is my 10th year here. I was defensive coordinator before I got the head coaching job. This is my 5th year as the head coach.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Now, see, that's interesting. You went from one premier school in Seabird and come to Shreve, where the expectation level has been just as high. What made you decide to make the change?
Originally, when I got into it at Byrd High School, Coach Suggs called me. I'm actually a Byrd graduate. And so when he heard I was back in town, he asked was I interested in getting in coaching. I told him I was, and so I got my first coaching job there, and really enjoyed it. Like I said, being a graduate there and everything else, you always want to kind of go back to your alma mater, so I had a chance to do that, and that was really special. Made a lot of great relationship with kids, and then the opportunity came up to come to Shreve. The defensive coordinator at the time, which was one of my best friends, got the head coaching job here, and he asked me to come with him and run his defense, and I did. It was a great experience, and really looking forward to the challenge of it because, when I was at Byrd High School, I think when I was in high school, I think we lost 3 ball games my 3 years of varsity. So, I mean, it was kind of established, it was built, and I'll be honest with you, the challenge of Shreve was interesting because Shreve had been down for a very long time. So, I mean, just the challenge of going, you always want to challenge yourself here, all right, can I coach this game? How good am I? That type of deal, and can I take something that's not very good and make it better? So I guess I think that personal challenge is what made Shreve interesting to me. So when he came, when we came over here, it had been a very long time since Shreve had a winning season. And so just that challenge is kind of what brought me here. Just wanted to kind of challenge myself, get a different set of faces, different perspective, and certainly glad I did.
You get here, you're the defensive coordinator. What position did you coach? And what was your philosophy in teaching you being a young coach, new to coaching, when you get here, basically, because it takes a lifetime to master this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
What were some of your philosophies that you tried to give the kids as a young defensive coordinator?
As a young defense coordinator, and kind of it got caught up. So I hadn't coordinated, but I got caught in a hiring freeze. Caddo had a hiring freeze, so when the first year I wanted to come over with Coach Larry, I wasn't able to, so I had to stay one more season at Byrd, but they knew I was leaving, but I was actually able to be the defense coordinator there for a year. So it gave me a little bit of experience with a young team. I think that year there was we started 10 sophomores on defense. So it gave me a new perspective of how to work with young kids and get them to the level you want them to get. So I thought that was a really good experience. So when I came here, I kind of brought some of that knowledge of working with younger guys. So when you walk in, nobody really knew who you were other than by name. So, I mean, when you came in, just like anything else, I mean, trust has to be earned, not given. Right. What I mean? And same thing with respect. So came in, respect, kind of got the lay of the land, kind of saw the pieces we had. Everybody has an idea, like, I'm come in, hey, I'm going to run this, I'm going to run that. If you have any kind of intelligence, you're going to run what your kids are good at. So kind of, I had some preconceived notions of things I like to do, and the personnel wasn't quite there. So I was able to all right, evaluate the kids. The good thing was I started working here in January, so it gave me a whole off season to get to know the kids, you know, and I'm a firm believer in building relationships. You know, I had to win over the trust of the guys. I mean, the first thing, again, when you come from a rival school and Shrevebird, that's one of the biggest rivalries in the state, I think there was some automatic distrust with the kids. And they were going, you from Bird, what, you know. So I think I had to do a good job of selling myself, but you're around kids too much, you have to be yourself. So
right.
I didn't try to do anything out of character, anything of that nature. I was just me, and just, you know, I like to joke, I like to have a good time, but when it's time for business, it's time for business. So I tried to instill that in the kids, the guys, look, we're going to have a good time, we're going to care about you. I may get on your butt at practice, but I'll drive you home after the ball game and get you something to eat. You know,
right.
So again, I think the kids kind of saw that, all right, this guy demands a lot out of me, but he'll do anything in the world for me too. So I think making that balance with the kids kind of won them over. And, you know, I really think, you know, early on that some of my first 2 years of coaching, I was doing freshman football. I really think I learned probably more in those first 2 years than I probably have since, because I was the only defensive coach.
Oh, wow.
So when you learn that you're really the only guy doing something,
right.
You learn how to be efficient.
Right.
You learn. I was new too, so I mean, I knew that. In high school, I played corner and safety. In college, I played linebacker. I didn't have a clue other than defensive line was supposed to keep stuff off me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, it really forced me though to branch out of my comfort zone, learn what to do. You know what everybody's supposed to do and how it all fits together. And I mean, and when you're the only guy, there ain't nobody to blame anything on but you. You know, so I mean,
right.
you learn how to take responsibility for everything, really dive into the details, and you know, so I kind of took all those experiences when I came here, you know, and kind of started instilling the defensive mentality I wanted. You know, kind of having played Shreve, I looked at them like, man, I got some good athletes, but I don't know if they play hard all the time.
Right.
You know, so kind of instilling again what it takes to be a winner. You know, I mean, what it takes to win every single play. So just started trying to, you know, mold that mentality in the defensive guys and take pride and defend every blade of grass. So that's kind of where it started.
So you're 5 years in here at Shreve. The position becomes available for the head coach. You get the position. How did you take your successes and or failures into your new position as head coach of the football team?
Well, the way it ended up getting the job, and like I said again, I tell everybody all the time, I still wish I was an assistant here. The way I got the job was my best friend, Coach Larry, passed away of a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
Kind of unexpected. He was a young man, 49 years old, active. I mean, nobody saw it coming. I mean, he was actually covering the ball game. His athletic director here covering a baseball game and he had a great personality. Was laughing and joking with some parents and just kind of fell backwards. So I tell people all the time, I still wish I was the defense coordinator here.
Right.
You know, and have my best friend back. But you know, but just coming through and like I said, and when he took over the job, it had been down a while, so we kind of went into this thing together. And so we started trying to build a foundation and you know, build them about having success, teaching kids, you know, life skills and those type of things. And so there was already kind of a plan in place that me and him had already kind of had together. And you know, really that first year, I'm telling you, it was tough on all of us. Me assuming that role, plus dealing with some loss, plus the kids, you know, dealing with, you know, loss and
right.
change. So that first year was kind of keep the wheels on, you know. Okay. I mean, you know, and again, was my best friend, but we had some different philosophies. When he was here, we kind of ran a shotgun wing T style of offense. When I got the job, I wanted to open up and run spread. I mean, right. So I mean, same philosophies, but different style about going away things. So it kind of, when I got the job, I still had to kind of make it my own. So defensively, kind of stayed about the same, but offensively, I was able to get another head coach. My offense coordinator is Corey Brotherton. He was actually the head coach at Plain Dealing, and when I got the job, I was actually able to talk him into leaving a head coaching job at a smaller school to get back in 5A ball, and that's been great. He's phenomenal at what he does, but you know, just looking at things, and you know, our big rivals, Byrd High School, and they run wing T. And look at the amount of success they had, and just in my job interview and those things, and talking with the principal and being here for a while. If we go against your competitor running the same thing, and they have a track record of success and you don't, how you gonna get kids to come?
Right.
So I wanted to be the option guy. Look, if you want to run the wing T, go there.
Right.
If you want to, you know, showcase yourself in colleges and do things that colleges do nowadays. And hey, throw the football, run the football, spread it out, and where a coach can look at you and go, hey, I don't have to wonder what this guy can do. I can see him do it on Friday nights. I want to be that public school option around here to do that. And that was kind of the mentality, when I got the job. And I had to tell the principal, I said, look, I don't claim to be the smartest guy out there, but I ain't the stupidest one either. Give me a couple years, because she asked me, well, do we have the athletes to do that? I said, no, we don't. But I'm going to go ahead and put the cart before the horse, do it anyway, because if we don't put it out there, we're never going to get the athletes to do it.
Right.
And she had a great job, done a great job supporting me and seeing that vision. And to see that kind of all come to fruition has been really nice and fun.
I'm going to go a little off track here for one second. Quick question, short answer. How good is your mouthpiece that you convinced the head coach to leave his program and come be an assistant head coach for you?
I think I must be a better talker than I think. I don't think I talk very well, but obviously, I kind of get things done. So, but no, it's here was my sales pitch to him. And I'd known him, I'd coached against him because he had coached, he was offense coordinator at Airline before he got that job. So I'd coached against him. I knew who he was, he knew who I was, so we didn't, really know each other. But when I went to him, I'd seen some things he'd done. And he took over a little small 1A school playing deal, and they had a lot of success. I want to say he was probably 37 and 18 in his 5 years there. But here becomes the problem. When you do well at a small school, you have trouble moving up because the parish doesn't want to move you up because Bossier Parish, well, we can't find anybody else that's going to take this school.
Right.
So I use that to my advantage. It says, look, man, you've been at the 5A level, you're at the 1A level. I know you want to get back to 5A ball. I said, in this sport, you want to be at the top level.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And if you're 4A, not bad, but there's a big difference between 1A ball and 5A ball.
Exactly.
And you want to get back to the big show. And I said, man, here's your chance to get back to it. And I said, I'll be honest with you, I was straightforward with it. We were terrible on offense.
Right.
And have been. I said, look, I've been here at Shreve 5 years. Defensively, we've ranked in the top 10 every single year. Offensively, we've ranked in the bottom 10 every year. You have a chance to come here at a 5A level, and if you can improve the offense at Shreve, you're going to get a 5A head coaching job. So use this to catapult you onto your next job. And so that was kind of my sales pitch. And I think him being in the coaching game realizes that, all right, that makes a lot of sense. And so he was ready to get back in the big show, and he wants to take this and be, become a 5A head coach. And I think he's well qualified, and he should. And so that's kind of how it all came together.
This year, you guys did something. I don't think I've ever heard you guys traveling as far as you've traveled before. What went into scheduling for this upcoming season after having success over the last couple of years? You guys have been pretty solid football team. What was behind this year's scheduling?
This year's schedule was horrible. It was crazy because I don't like waiting till the last minute. So we had all our schedules, everything set, and then the moment that the 1-4A district combined, they took 2 4A and 1 4A, and the Monroe area, Shreveport combined. Well, all of a sudden you lost ball games, and so we had a schedule that was totally complete, and all the scheduling for everybody was done when they finally LHA finally decided to merge it. Well, you lost ball games, and you had to scour everything in the state looking.
Right.
Last couple years we played Westgate. I always like to have that one road game, playoff type road game against an athletic ball club. We played Westgate last year, and they've got the Butte kids signing with LSU. They've got they had guys that were athletic everywhere, and so I wanted to see our team have to hit the road, travel down, and play really good competition to simulate a playoff style atmosphere, especially early on in the season. And I think that helps you. And then so when it started calling around, when everything got messed up, we lost our game with Westgate, and like I say, so called around. Scotlandville had an opening, and they were in the Dome 4 or 5 years ago,
right?
And so we're not backing down from challenges. I called everybody in the state, so like, look, I need a week 3. I'll come to you first year. I don't mind traveling, and so we called good people, Brother Martin, so and so. We didn't dodge anybody. You have to play good competition, and Scotlandville had the opening, and so it was really good. And at the time, they were under an interim coach, and so just we both had a great conversation. Just he asked me, "Hey, what do you know about us?" I said, "Very little." I said, "What do y'all know about?" Yeah. So neither one knew anything about the other one other than heard y'all pretty good. Well, I heard y'all pretty good. You want to play?
Right.
Like, well, you got to come to me first. Perfect. I was wanting to do that anyway. So everything kind of worked out really well, and I really thought it was a good ball game. Scotlandville's still undefeated. They're scoring about 70 points a game.
Right.
And I think Scotlandville this year has been a good catalyst for us. It's a ball game. We lost by 1 point. And I'll just be honest with you, we played very badly. We turned the ball over 7 times, had 140 yards of penalties, and still lost by a point. So, I mean, that's on us. I mean, they're a good quality ball club. They're going to win a lot of ball games. But I think we were had not been challenged to that point. We're starting to develop a few bad habits at practice. But as you tell kids about those things, if you're having a lot of success and scoring a lot of points and not allowing a lot of points, they kind of look at you like, oh, the coach is losing. I don't know what he's talking about. But I think that ball game pointed out some of the flaws that we've been having in practice and kind of made it real. And we've been a lot better since that loss. Our practices have been better. The kids bought into it. I mean, when you lose a ball game, one of two things happen. You either everybody points fingers and spreads out and tears your team apart, or it brings everybody right back together. And I told the guys after that ball game, guys, we're going to be just fine this year. And they was like, you think so, Coach? I said, yeah. I said, because I saw a lot of finger pointing after the ball game, but I saw fingers doing this. Right. Guys owning up to, hey, I can't make that mistake. I've got to do better in this category. And having that self-realization at a young age is crucial. So, I mean, we had a lot of guys who were pointing fingers, but it's the way you want it. A lot of guys just, hey, after the ball game, I can't tell you how many guys came to me, Coach, I messed this up, I messed that up, I'm going to get it fixed. And when kids can do that and be man enough to own up to their own mistakes and do it in front of their peers, oh, you got something special. And so I really think just that kind of slapped us in the face, woke us up. I talked to their coach after the ball game. I give them all the credit. I told them, I said, man, this is not a slight, but a credit to Scotlandville. I think we should beat Scotlandville by 28. Right. But for them to come out and beat us, that's not a slight at them. That's a compliment to them that they, I think we had the better ball club and they came away with the victory. So, I mean, they fought hard, got great athletes. The coaching was good. So all I have nothing but respect and confidence for those guys. But I'm glad, that's what I told my principal, I'm glad that loss happened. We'll win more ball games because we lost that one. Right. And so, I mean, it woke us up. Our practice has been better. So I'm excited about it going forward.
I've talked to several people. I'm a big proponent of us living high school life as those that get to go to the next level will live it. So what I mean by that is colleges may play a conference game, second, third game of the season, and play a non-conference game late in the season. How much would you be for or against playing district and non-district games in a mixed schedule in high school athletics?
If everybody in the state did it, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I would be opposed if it's just select people, because if not, you'll have trouble finding ball games. So if everybody in the state had that flexibility to do it, I think you could have some really good matchups. I really do. I would be for it if everybody did it, because if everybody didn't do it, what would happen was, let's say our district decided to do it. Well, every other district's in play, so you'd have trouble finding a ball game. But if everybody did it, I think you could have a lot of rivalry ball games. I think they give you some flexibility to say, hey, our big rivals, Byrd High School, I want to play them in Battle on the Border week 2. Right. We were in Battle on the Border this year. I think that would be or something of that nature. I think it would give you a lot of flexibility to have some really good ball games throughout the year. I would be for it if everybody did it where you could have an easy schedule.
Well, I think, like, in my personal opinion, you have 2-5A is really tough, 5-5A is really tough, and the River Parish district in 5A is really, really tough. And so I think, and it's just my personal opinion when I think about it, all those guys having to play 5-6 district games back to back to back to back, and every team is big, every team is strong, every team is physical. If you can parcel that out into different segments and not have to play 5 weeks of really smash mouth football and then take that into the playoffs a little banged up, you'd probably be lot better off if you know, like you guys in Scotlandville and Catholic Baton Rouge, East Ascension, all you guys have played a really tough schedule. West Monroe, St. Thomas More, Neville, you know, all of you guys have played a really tough schedule this season. So maybe if you can find a game or two at the end that you can put at the bottom to kind of just rest your starters, let them get a little bit healthy before playoffs begin. I think that would be outstanding.
Yeah, I think that would make the quality of ball in the playoffs a lot better. I mean, I relate it back to, I think 3 years ago, our district was brutal. And I'm telling you, of our last 5 ball games, every school was in the top 10. I mean, there's that Parkway, that's back when they were, you know, Coach Fisher was there and they were winning a ton of ball games. Airline was up. Bird, I think, made the semifinals. Halton went to the quarters. I mean, it was the last 5 ball games, everybody made the quarters or greater.
Right.
And that takes a toll on you, just the weekend grind and the beating, the mental. I mean, you know, so by the time you make the playoffs, sometimes you're so banged up that you can be a high seed, but you're not really a high seed anymore, if that makes any sense.
I definitely understand.
You know, you're like, all right, we got a really good ball club, but everybody's hobbled up and limping and so and so. So I do think in that regards, I think that would help.
How do you go about getting the ball rolling on getting a bigger conversation started about changing that process of how games are scheduled?
I think it all probably has to start. I would think that would be a couple-year process, but I think we all meet as athletic directors and principals and everything in January at the LHSA executive meeting, and where we do all the voting. I think that would probably the best way would be start just getting a bunch of people together, informal conversation, say, hey, look, what is your opinions on this? And then have a year to plan it out. Because just like any system with that many moving parts, I'm sure once you dove into it, there's probably so many things you don't even realize you don't know. You know what I mean? that problems that will come up. I always call them unknown unknowns. And so I would think you'd have to get a lot of heads together and let people troubleshoot through it so you could actually have a viable plan to put on the docket the following year to make something like that happen.
Right. You guys, we're going to change gears again, go back to football, Captain ShreveGators football. You guys have had a lot of success this season. Again, only the one loss to Scotlandville. Tell us about the rest of your district schedule and how do you guys continue with an undefeated season for the rest of your district schedule?
This week we have Benton. You know, they're making the trek up from 4A. Been a very, very, very successful 4A program. Now they're jumping into 5A. So again, we just got to come out against them and take care of business. I mean, that's just one of those. People can talk about it all the time, but nobody really believes it until you move up. You know, there's a big difference between 4A and 5A.
Yes, sir.
And it's not game to game. I think 4A programs can compete with 5A programs once or twice. But when you have to start running that gauntlet of good coaching, everybody's got athletes, everybody has numbers, and it's a big mindset change, not only for the kids, but for the coaches in 4A. So I think I still think they're a good football team, but they're still trying to feel their way into, all right, how do we do this thing? How do we, we're used to playing guys both ways. That's hurting us. So I think they're still trying to get their feet wet in 5A. So we got to come out and just not have a lot of penalties and just do what we do and take care of business against those guys. We got Natchitoches Central next week. They're coming up here. Don't know a whole lot about them. We hadn't played Natchitoches in about 4 years. But, looking at their scores, they play tough ball all year long. The record's not great, but they've been in every single ball game. I think they had Bird High School night last week. Bird had to run a trick play and then kick a field goal with 2 seconds left to win 9-7. So, I mean, if you can do that to Bird High School, you've got a good ball club, regardless of what your record says. So, a big one's going to be Halton. I think when we play Halton, I think I would love to be a fan at that ball game. I know myself and Coach Brotherton at Halton, both of our butts will be tight the entire ball game, but for the fans, I think you're going to get a very exciting ball game. Both guys have a lot of speed, throw the ball well. We can run the ball well. The defenses are pretty good. So I'm telling you, I think that's going to be probably one of the top ball games in the entire state through the course of the year. I mean, that last year was a close ball game. We came out last year at Halton and played the worst half of football you can ever imagine and think of, and felt like I was in a nightmare. But we go down 35-7 at half.
Wow.
Turning the ball over. Just if it could go wrong, it went wrong. Got everybody calmed down at halftime, and we make a run in the second half, tied up 35-35 in the fourth, and ended up having another turnover and loss. I think we lost 42-35. So, I think both schools are capable of scoring at any time. And so I think that's going to be an exciting game for everybody. So then we have Bird and Airline, who are always tough. So, no secret. We've got to get better every single week, just like everybody else does. Stick to what we do. If you have penalties and turnovers, I don't care who you're playing, it's going to be tough. So we've got to make sure we're mentally sharp, execute well, and I think we do a pretty good job in practice of limiting injuries and those type of things. And health plays a lot into it. So we've got to, this week will be the first time all season long, including Jamboree on, that we've played with our starting unit on offense. We've had injuries from the get-go right on offense, and no excuse. That's just part of the ball game, and so we're not hiding behind that. Whoever steps in, we expect the same thing out of those guys, and we practice that way. We've been preaching that since day one, and because everybody's gonna have injuries every year. If you're not prepared for them, it's gonna show. So I think the guys who filled in, and we've had to shuffle some guys around and do this. I think kids have handled adversity well, and they know the expectation's the expectation no matter who's in.
Right.
So I'm very excited though to finally have all our guys back for a ball game.
At the end of this process, how do you get to the final result, which is playing on Poydras Street for you guys?
Well, we've been talking about that a while, and and I told our team coming into the season that I always tell them I'm one of the most honest guys you'll ever meet. I tell them half the time they probably wish I would lie to them, but I'm always telling them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear.
Right.
And tell them I love them enough to do that. So I just kind of told these guys, especially seniors, that they've seen our program get better every single year. And I've told them, all right, remember back when y'all were freshmen, what were we telling the varsity guys? All right, goal was to what? Hey, we got to do this and make the playoffs. I said, that's all, mentality-wise, that's all those guys and talent-wise they were ready for, was to make the playoffs.
Right.
The next year, what was it? All right, now we got guys, now home playoff game. Now, so as the expectations have built,
right,
and started having some success, and kids start seeing the success, you got to take baby steps before you start running.
right,
And they've seen enough of those. Now I told these guys this year, some guys, there's only probably every year, no, regardless of classification, doesn't matter if 5A, 4A, 3A, whatever, 1A. Typically in every class, there's only about 5 to 6 schools who actually have a legit chance to play for a championship.
right,
Whether it be athletes, coaching, size of the school, depth, whatever it may be. There's so many factors, injuries, whatever it may be, that some schools before the season starts, you don't have a chance to get there.
right.
But I told them this year, I said, guys, I've never lied to you. I said, everything that we've said, here's where we need to be and here's what we can do, we've done. I think we're one of those 5 or 6 schools in 5A that have a chance to get there, and then we started talking about that in January, of mapping it out and going, here's what we need to do, here's what we saw. All right, we ran into West Monroe last year in the playoffs.
Right.
Well, how'd it go so bad for us? We went back and looked at a lot of those things and, kind of compared some things around the state, and here's what we're doing, here's how we compare, and here's some things that we have to improve. I'm really proud and excited how our team attacked that in the offseason. We got in the playoffs and we just didn't tackle very well.
Right.
We turned the football over. Again, they forced us to at times, but we, we didn't point fingers. We said, guys, here's the problem, showed it, and we went all this whole offseason with our team and said, here, if this is where we want to get, what's it going to take?
What's the cost?
What's the cost? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up to be one of those guys who can call themselves a champion?
Right.
So then we started talking about, as a team, we said championship expectations. What does that mean daily? What does that mean, on Tuesday in February?
Right.
If I'm not trying to be a champion a Tuesday in February, I'm not going to be a champion in December.
Right.
So just changing that culture and mentality, that we can't say we want to be champions if we're not willing to be champions.
Exactly.
And so making the guys walk that every single day. but not only us making them walk in it, getting them to understand forcing each other to walk it.
Right.
You know, that team, peer accountability. So I thought we had a really good off season. Thought we had a really good summer. You know, saw some guys grow up. You know, there's some guys that, you know, in the summertime, you always have those guys every now and then hit or miss, and they drive you nuts as a coach. But I saw a lot of those, you know, our quarterback was one of them. You know, just kind of want to hit or miss, and then he missed one day all summer long.
Right.
And that day he missed because he got a speeding ticket, and he's 17 years old and had to go to court for a speeding ticket. So, but that's maturity, and that's developing, that's seeing the big picture. So
right.
we're very excited about that. So, I mean, so we started setting these expectations, you know, a while ago. And so, you know, and I've told guys all the time, don't back down from expectations. I said when I first came to Shreve, there were none.
Right.
Everybody expected us to be bad. Man, nobody asked about Shreve. Nobody said, Coach, why didn't you call? No.
Right.
Nobody cared. And that's a terrible feeling. You know, I mean, now we have expectations. I told them embrace them.
Right.
Whatever the public expectation is, the community expectations, ours have to be higher. Right. And so we don't back down from them. You know, we have a good ball club, just same thing. It's like Scotlandville. We didn't take care of our business. I mean, that's on us. And so seeing things, accepting them, and then fixing them is how I think we get there.
Right. So I'm going to do this. Don't take it the wrong way. I'm going to put you on the spot, and then we're shutting it down. Your 6 that can get to Poitras.
I think West Monroe, Destrehan, Acadiana, us, and I'm telling you, I'm not putting Halton out there. Right off the get-go, just kind of watching the last few years, I think guys have enough speed and things to get there. That would be my 5. If I'm leaving somebody out, I may not have seen them on film, but those are guys I've kind of seen on film.
Right. Familiarity.
Yeah, familiarity, and look and go, ooh, we got some guys that can go.
Right.
I think right there, I think those guys have a chance.
Right.
But I'm gonna come around. I'm gonna put you on the spot too. He came here. He's doing an interview today. He came empty-handed. His son plays at EA. I didn't get any boudin balls or anything. So, you know, he's gonna try to put me on the spot. I'm gonna put him right out there, right in the public. He came empty-handed from I-10 with nothing.
Let
that sink in. I-10, great food, nothing.
I didn't come from I-10 though. Again, I came. Hey, family, y'all know I've been in Monroe all week.
All right.
I've been in Monroe all week. So watch this right here. Watch this right here.
Trail on Desire Street.
Watch this right here.
Best barbecue ever. Got nothing.
This is the kind of guy I am. Where I live now, they have a thing called the shirt off my back. I'm going to give you the shirt off my back.
I'm going to think. I can't eat the shirt off his back.
Give you the shirt off my back. That's the kind of guy I am. And I just hope that your principal doesn't call the police on me for exposing all this fat. So, thank you, Coach. Been a great chopping it up with you.
Thank you for coming, showcasing high school athletics, man. It's crucial for the kids.
And I love doing it. And I love the fact that you guys allow me into your homes. This is an extension of your home. So, thank you, and have a great rest of the week of preparation. I don't tell coaches good luck because if you're going to need luck, no need to prepare. So have a great rest of the week of practice and have a great rest of the season. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you.
Captain ShreveGators football. Caddo Parish. We're here, baby. What's up, man? What's up, fellas?
What's up?
Let's go. We're going to start right here. Go.
Kendrick Law, wide receiver, Captain ShreveGators football, class of 2022.
Rambo, defensive end, Captain ShreveGators football, class of 2020.
Geron Hargon, linebacker, Captain ShreveGators football, class of 2020.
Drake Mandina, strong safety, outside linebacker, Captain ShreveGators football, class of 2020.
Man, that's what's up, man. Y'all got a great variety of things right here, like size, like the Gabe. Tell me your name again.
Drake.
Drake.
Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all can't see this, But Drake is like, his legs nice, man. His legs nice. Y'all can't see that, but his legs nice. Like, so it's a great. We have the speed guy on the end. We got the terrorist in the middle. We got the coach, and we got the guy that just cause havoc on the end. So, hey, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to start off by asking a couple of questions about how the season has been for you guys. Favorite game this season?
Favorite game this year got to be Scotlandville. Scotlandville is, even though we lost, we still went there. We had to go to Baton Rouge, so that was a good experience. And we had to, overcome some things and just battle. It was a great game.
How do you get to the point where you are right now? You guys are 4-1. What did it take to get here for you guys?
Well, to be 4-1, it means we've lost one game, so we had a learning experience. And for the 4 as our winning games, we come to practice every day, Monday through Friday, even on Sundays, some days, to work hard to get better in the weight room and also in film.
Non-district schedules are always pretty tough, Coach. How did you motivate them to keep going hard even through trials?
Well, I was out there the first 2 games, so just a lot of energy with it being the first couple games of the season. Scotlandville was obviously a big game for us, and we didn't play our best game, but we still fought hard. But like Kendrick said, it has been a good learning experience to build off of. I think practice has been a lot better since then, and we all just kind of bought into what we wanted to do at the start of the season, which was compete for a district championship and go deep in the playoffs.
What does football mean to you, Drake?
It means everything to me. I love football. I've always played it my whole life. It's always been my favorite sport. Only sport I've ever played.
Hey, you should try basketball, Drake.
Can't play
No,
basketball.
I'm just playing, Drake. I'm just playing. So,
Rainbow. Rainbow.
Rambo?
That'll work. That'll work.
So I just gave you a new nickname.
That'll work.
Yeah. Y'all Gators, man. What does it mean to you be a Captain ShreveGator?
It means everything, just coming here and just the name of it is something special about it.
You guys start district this week. What's that like?
Yes, sir. We started district last week.
Y'all started district last week?
Play Parkway.
Yes, sir.
Oh, missed that one. Okay.
No, then we play Southwood.
We
started.
started.
2 weeks
So
ago.
we had 2 weeks of district.
Tell us about it.
We started district 2 weeks ago. We played Southwood. I had 1 touchdown Southwood game, and last week we played Parkway. Occasionally I didn't come up with a touchdown, but I still played my hardest and I went 110% every play.
Southwood, Parkway. What's next for you guys?
Ben,
Ben.
you gotta welcome them in 5A.
Wow. What's that gonna be like for you guys?
It's gonna be good, they've been talking some noise over there, so now we just gotta shut them up.
What do you guys know about Benton that's gonna help you get a win on Friday night?
Well, they play hard. We're going to take them serious, just like we're playing anybody else. Not take them lightly.
Got good speed.
Yeah.
What's your job for this week, Coach?
This week, just being there for the linebackers. We got a guy, Adrian March, who has stepped up since I can't play anymore. He's done a great job. He's a senior, so having that senior leadership is really big. Have another great guy in Cam Davis out there. Just helping them be in the right position, and when they come off the field, just keeping their head up and keep fighting like we did last week against Parkway.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Hey, I want to thank you guys for taking a moment with Off the Bench Sports. Benton this week. Couple of more district games after that. Stay focused. Stay working hard. Stay trusting your brothers. Get into the game, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So thank you, and remember, get off the bench, get into the game.